All right, good morning. Europe, Asia, both of them up again. Europe actually reversed. They were down overnight. Now they're skyrocketing actually into the close. It's taken our futures off the lows and up towards the highs, or actually at the highs. This is the ESs, so you can see last night they traded down and then right back the other way. We're not talking a huge swing, 6, 7 points. It kind of stalled here. This is on the E-minis. If I bring it back, to a daily, you're at the highs, right? So there's really nothing here, right? I mean, this thing is at the highs, and the question is just how high does it go? It has resistance, on the outside the futures. It has resistance right about where it is. This is the highs outside the futures. So if we popped over, and let me grab an S&P chart. If we pop over here and put up the S&P chart, that high was what, 2119. We're at 17, I think. Yeah, so we're like 2 points away. So you're basically at the highs or over the highs. Question is, do you hold it and do you extend? If you can hold and extend, then once more we're going to get the same sort of scenario where you get an A, B, C, D structure that can push you up, and in this case the structure takes us up to about 2130, I think. So another 15-20 points maybe on the upside, if it holds this area. So buy is still up. Still continues to crawl. What can you say? Bring it back here. Let's see what we got. Anything to look at? Not the daily, but the hourly. Yeah, that's a good spot right there. So the fade into here. Yeah, and so if we redraw this just slightly, the fade into this area would be the buy this morning. Right? I mean, that would be the fade buy. So you come back in there, you hold, right, and then you turn around. If that fails, the one below it is here. And that would be kind of worst case, I think, in that area. So we're talking about right around 2100 on the futures, 2098 or so. If we're talking about up here is 21067. Otherwise, it's just more of the same. If I look over the currencies, dollar stronger, that should actually work against the market. But right now, you got to remember, the dollar's in a big range, and so moving inside this range is probably not going to have much of an effect or a large effect on the dollar. I mean, on the markets, the effect is going to be when it breaks down or breaks out. That would be when the big effect is. So that's the S&Ps. This one is already over the high, so there's really nothing to look at, and it just keeps working higher this morning. And man, there's just nothing here. In terms of support, you got this big bar. So if I were going to draw everything, and let me just get rid of everything if I can, move all, and put them in. It's really top and bottom of this bar as far as support. So that would be the support area, and there just isn't anything below there. You fall back below here, you can come all the way back to 4444. So I mean, it's just nothing there. This is the big bar. It's where all the volume is, and there's nothing else to compare to. Let's put on a daily and see how that lines up. Yeah, so you'd have to go back to the prior highs. So it'd be a retest regen off the prior highs, and that's back at 4472. Okay, Europe strong, everything's working. If I look at SBUX, this is what I was trading. I will probably trade it again today. They had an outage on Friday, so I'm going to be curious to see if it has any effect on them today. The sweet spot here is about that area that we bought, or I bought, 5136 to 5142. That's kind of the sweet spot, and then again down towards the gap. I like these kinds of trades because I think this goes higher, and matter of fact, you know, if you put the thing in here, that is a definite buy if it ever faded back in and closed the gap. I suspect it's not going to close the gap, and so I'm just going to continue to try to accumulate this and build a larger position on any kind of intraday dips. That's where I'm playing. The other spot looks like it's going to try to work higher today is GDX, but I don't know how far this is going to get. You know, it's got to get over these highs. So far, it hasn't been able to. XLU I was looking at, I talked about. This thing is trying to break out. You know, if you want to trade that's kind of offbeat, XLU is not a bad looking trade. 25.27 needs to hold over that area. That could set it up. China higher, Hong Kong higher, Asia in general higher, Europe higher. That says bias has to be the upside today. It looked like Asia was gonna, not Asia, but Europe was going to consolidate more, but that totally changed as it totally reversed, and so that puts a bid back under our market more than likely. Okay. Trying to think if there was anything else. Seemed like there was one other stock I was gonna refer you to. Maybe I'll think of it later and I'll bring it up. I'll be around, kind of busy, especially late in the day. Towards the close, I'm probably not going to be around, so I'll be around this morning. Until then, see ya.